Before the discovery of oil and petroleum, people relied on very limited sources of energy. During the day, work was done using sunlight. But as soon as the sun set, life almost came to a halt, and everything was covered in darkness. For lighting at night, burning wood, coal flames, or oil made from animal fat were common methods. These sources of light were expensive, and they did not last long.
From the 17th century to the early 19th century, whale oil was considered the most valuable fuel in Europe and America. People chased whales across vast oceans, killed them, and extracted oil from their bodies. This oil was used to light homes and even illuminate city streets. But the cost of this light was horrifying. Every year, thousands of whales were killed so that the homes of the wealthy could shine, while common people still lived in darkness. Gradually, whale populations declined so much that people realized this method was not a sustainable solution. By the mid-19th century, the demand for light increased, but whale oil became rare and extremely expensive. That's when people started searching for a new energy source, something cheap, durable, and widely available. This search led humans to crude oil and petroleum, changing the world forever. Interestingly, oil was not completely new to humans. Its true potential simply hadn't been understood yet. Thousands of years ago, people used natural bitumen for construction, strengthening walls and slowly waterproofing boats. In Eastern and Asian regions, crude oil was also used for medicine, spices, and lighting fires. In places like Azerbaijan, people had been extracting oil from the surface for centuries. However, all these efforts were small scale. The real story had yet to begin. In 1846, Canadian scientist Abraham Gesner made history by inventing kerosene. It was derived from coal and oil and soon became a cheap and easily available source of light. This discovery freed humans from complete dependence on whale oil. The real revolution came in 1859 when the world's first successful oil well was drilled in Pennsylvania, USA. Before this, people only collected oil that naturally seeped out of the ground. But for the first time, machines made it possible to extract oil from deep within the earth. This small well became the foundation of today's modern oil industry. Initially, oil was mainly used to produce kerosene for lighting, but when electric bulbs were introduced, the demand for kerosene decreased. Then, history took another turn. A new revolution was about to change everything. With the invention of engines and motor vehicles, the value and demand for oil skyrocketed. Oil was no longer just a source of light, it became the lifeline of machines, cars, ships, and airplanes. This led to the great oil rush in America, where people went absolutely crazy searching for it. In a short time, hundreds of oil wells were drilled, entire towns were built from nothing, and oil became the ultimate symbol of wealth and power. This oil craze soon spread to Russia, Venezuela, and the Middle East, where the largest reserves of oil were hidden beneath the earth. By the early 20th century, oil had become the backbone of modern civilization. However, a major misconception also spread that petroleum is made from dinosaurs. In reality, this is completely false. Oil is actually formed from tiny marine organisms like algae and plankton. When these microorganisms died, their remains settled at the bottom of oceans and were buried under layers of sediment for millions of years. Due to heat and pressure over time, these organic remains slowly transformed into petroleum. Surprisingly, this process began long before dinosaurs existed, around 250 to 360 million years ago. So, how did the dinosaur myth actually start? In the 1930s, an American company called Sinclair Oil began using dinosaur images in its advertisements in oil drums. The image became so popular that in 1932, the company made it their official logo. though. Over time, seeing dinosaurs everywhere from ads to toys made people believe there must be a connection between dinosaurs and oil. Today, oil, often called black gold, represents wealth and power for nations. Due to its high demand, hundreds of new oil wells are drilled every month around the world. Extracting oil, however, is not easy. It requires advanced technology, years of time, and massive investment. Crude oil is trapped deep within the earth, about 1.5 to 4 kilometers below the surface, locked between hard rock layers formed millions of years ago. Powerful drilling machines are used to reach it, cutting through solid rock as they go deeper and deeper. This process is extremely dangerous because of high temperature and intense pressure. Even a small mistake can lead to deadly explosions, and workers risk their lives constantly. Once oil is found, the real challenge begins: controlled extraction. Initially, due to high pressure, oil gushes out on its own, a literal surge from the depths. But as that pressure inevitably decreases, large pumping machines are brought in. These machines may look simple from the outside, almost primitive, but their power reaches deep underground, slowly pulling crude oil to the surface. Once extracted, the crude journey begins, traveling through massive pipelines and tankers toward the refineries for processing. Now, many people assume the world's largest refinery is tucked away in a Gulf country, but in reality, it is in India. The Jamnagar refinery in Gujarat, owned by Reliance Industries, processes over 1.2 million barrels of crude oil every single day. Spanning 7,500 acres, it looks less like a factory and more like a mini city, a labyrinth of massive structures and endless pipelines. From this single hub, products are exported to over 100 countries across the globe. In its raw state, crude oil is thick, jet black, and has a stifling, pungent smell. It is completely unusable like this. Yet, because of the wealth it generates, we call it black gold. To unlock its potential, the oil undergoes fractional distillation. It is pumped into a massive tower and heated to a blistering 400 degrees Celsius. As the heat rises, the hydrocarbons vaporize, climbing the tower until they cool and condense at different levels, transforming from a sludge into the petrol and diesel that fuels our entire civilization. Imagine a massive tower, several stories high. At the very top, where it's coolest, we capture LPG, the same gas used in your kitchen. Just below that, we tap into petrol for your cars and bikes. Then comes naphtha. It's the hidden hero used to manufacture plastics, chemicals, and even life-saving medicines. As we move further down, the substances get heavier. We find kerosene and aviation fuel, followed closely by the diesel that powers heavy transport. Below those, lubricating oils. Then the thick fuel oil from massive factory furnaces and ocean-faring ships. And at the absolute bottom, the heaviest of them all is asphalt, the very foundation of the roads we drive on. It doesn't stop there. Refining even gives us sulfur, hydrogen, and, believe it or not, that petroleum jelly sitting in your medicine cabinet. It all comes from the same black gold. From a single barrel, that is 159 liters of crude oil, we typically extract around 72 liters of petrol, 34 liters of diesel, and 14 liters of kerosene. The remainder, it is converted into the lubricants, asphalt, plastics, and chemicals that power our global infrastructure. Once produced, this petrol travels through a massive network of pipelines to terminals, then onto the trucks and tankers heading for your local pumps. But move with caution. Filling these tankers is a highly sensitive process. Even a tiny spark, a single stray charge, can trigger a massive explosion. To prevent disaster, tankers are grounded to neutralize static electricity, while specialized systems capture every volatile vapor. In this industry, precision is the only thing standing between progress and catastrophe. After all safety measures are followed, millions of liters of petrol are safely delivered every single day to fuel stations across the country. It is a massive, invisible network that keeps our modern world in motion. If you've watched the video till here,
here, then you must have liked it. Don't forget to give it a like and make sure to subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video with something new, interesting, and informative. Bye for now.